Hey everyone, I'm Black Lightning. There won't be a story on this video because the plot for Planet Anil Part 1 only extends to 3 videos. You can think of this video and the videos I uploaded in July as fillers, story-wise. So, what if you're wrong? I was never asked this question, but I want to talk about it. I always find myself reflecting on my positions. I'm very convinced on my positions, so this video isn't being made to announce I'm on the fence on something. Well, actually, on one thing I've said in a previous video. I suggested that gender dysphoria should be removed from the DSM. But if that happened, insurance companies might not cover the medical treatments required for trans people. I'm actually on the fence on that right now, and I'm taking time to hear both sides on this topic. Humans are not immune to errors, so I am sure to make one myself. I try to criticize all of my positions and see if I still agree with them. When I became an atheist for the first time years ago, I asked this question to myself: what if I'm wrong? I was reminded of the Christian hell and thought that there were no best case scenario. If I'm wrong about God, then I'm going to hell. There was a problem with that kind of fear. Christianity isn't the only religion. Another religion's hell didn't cross my mind because I didn't think they existed. What makes Christianity so special? It was nothing more than an accident of birth. I was born with Christian parents, so like them, I became a Christian. If I was born with Muslim parents, I'm quite sure I would have a bias towards Islam. My irrational fear of hell vanished afterwards. I listen to what Christians have to say regarding atheism quite often, and nothing they've said has been strong enough to get me to regret being an atheist. Even when that's the case, I will always be open to have a conversation with a religious person on the topic of religion. What if I'm wrong about the LGBT community? What if the LGBT community was made for population control or for some other nefarious agenda? I've gave this a chance once. It couldn't be for population control because homosexuality and transgender identities have been around for a long time. A Roman emperor from 218 to 222 Common Era, commonly known as Elagabalus, dressed as a woman and preferred to be called a mistress. His sexuality was also up for debate because he lacked interest in his wives and enjoyed the company of men. I highly doubt he was the only person like this during this time. He was very unsuited to be an emperor. He indulged himself in his own self-interest rather than attending to the matters of the empire. There were uprisings within the army and an attempt to replace him on the throne. It failed. In 221 Common Era, Elagabalus' cousin, Bassianus Alexanus, assumed the title of Caesar. Elagabalus saw Alexanus as a rival and began planning for Alexanus' execution. On March 11th, 222 Common Era, Elagabalus ordered the execution of Alexanus, but the Praetorian Guards supported Alexanus instead of killing him. 2 days later, Elagabalus was at the Praetorian Guard camp, and he was executed instead. He was a terrible emperor, but I wanted to focus on the fact that he dressed as a woman and was possibly homosexual, to make the point that transgender identities and homosexuality existed for a long time. Where's the population control? Since then, our population has been increasing without showing any signs of stopping. Even if the world was full of gay people, a popular argument from the opposing side, there's ways that gay people can produce a child, either through artificial insemination or in vitro fertilization. Whenever I hear people say the LGBT community is for population control, their stance on homosexuality and transgendered people is usually, I don't agree with it or I don't like it. That says a lot, and it's a good chance that this population control conspiracy theory is an extension of their dislike or discomfort towards them. It's okay not to agree with homosexuality and transgendered people and/or be indifferent towards them, but spreading such unfounded assertions about these people implies more than your disagreement or indifference. After reflecting on this, I don't think I'm wrong on my position on the LGBT community. I don't think there is a worst-case scenario for me encouraging the LGBT community to be themselves, since population control via the LGBT community is unfounded. Yes, it's upsetting to hear people talk negatively about me because of my sexuality. I'm pansexual, but I'm attracted to men more than anyone else. At one point, I used to think that everyone had to agree with my sexuality. In order to fit in society, people had to consider me normal. Now that I think about it, all my life I was the weird guy. Trying to fit into everyone's social circles is futile, and it's not necessary for me to do so. I don't need anyone's approval. I am who I am, whether you agree with my sexuality being natural or it being something wrong. I know these feelings are genuine. Same-sex marriage was important to people like me, and there's still more things that need to happen. If someone thinks negatively about me because of my sexuality, I will attempt to talk to them about it, but if they're not willing to listen, I'll move on. The world is under no obligation to befriend me. Trying to force people to accept the LGBT community won't do any good. Having a civil discourse is my preferable way of getting the message across. Atheism in the LGBT community isn't the only thing I reflect on. I like to reflect on all of my positions every once in a while to see if they still hold up. A way of double checking. I could be wrong on a lot of things, so that's where the viewers come in to voice their opinions. I'm not immune to scrutiny, and my opinion is not above anyone else's. I try to steer away from dogmatic thinking. It will make me a hypocrite. I criticize those who hold dogmatic ideologies that can't be challenged, because that is a dangerous mindset to have. I would be stuck in this stagnant position and disregard anything that contradicts my position. I don't want to be that way. I try to alter my positions according to the new information I receive. And I'm always open to listen to everyone's opinions, regardless if they disagree with me. I believe everyone should have a moment of self-reflection. Anyways, thanks for watching and take care.